guys, you're with Barry, and I want to introduce you a couple of really cool people I met a couple of days ago from Canada. I want to introduce you to our latest visitors, Sean and Angie. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
We didn't really know each other for any long length of time before you guys came down here. Usually I meet people and we have a lot of correspondence and all that, but briefly, you're from Canada. You're from my home province, which is great, from Alberta. And what inspired you guys to come on out?
I guess the long story short, the first thing is we absolutely hate winter. At least I'm not a fan of winter at all. So that was one of the biggest things. And then economic reasons, things aren't the same. So we're definitely looking for alternatives. And there's nothing wrong with a different way of life.
Well, at times a change is good, without a doubt. How is your venture? Did it kind of be what you expected, more or less, a little bit different, or very similar? Well, how did it go? What have you experienced since we've been together in terms of, is it different than you thought it might be?
Well, first, we haven't really traveled a lot outside Canada and the U.S., so this was really our first venture into a third world country where we actually got to see what it was like for the average person here. Thanks to yourself and Johnny hiding off camera, we had the ability to get into the backwoods and actually meet locals and kind of dispel that whole fear of everybody's out to get you and everybody wants what you've got and everybody is looking for the scam and everything.
Angie, as a mother, what do you feel? As a woman and as a mother.
Well, I feel that it's fine for me. For my kids, I'm still thinking about it, but I don't think that they'd have anything to be afraid of, and I do feel that they would probably be able to integrate really well as long as they learned a little Spanish.
Yeah, very important
Spanish.
you do.
Or a lot of Spanish, but yeah. Yeah, I think it isn't as scary as I thought it would be.
What are their ages?
12 and 15.
So they're approaching the teenage years,
Yes.
and you feel rightly so. It'll be an adjustment for them. Yeah.
But they just like their Wi-Fi, and there is Wi-Fi here and things like that. So, but I do want to try and get them away from that a little bit too. So, and get out into the nature of things, and this definitely has all of that.
Do you like the direction you see Canada heading?
Absolutely not.
No.
I seem it just feels like the harder we work and the more money we try and make and save and the little bit more we try and get ahead, new taxes are popping up. Our leaders are giving away our money without looking at what's the best choice for Canadians and Albertans. And everyone's following the social trends instead of actually paying attention to what's actually going on and what are the economic responsibilities they have to their people. And when I'm looking at a 43% taxes all in kind of lifestyle,
that kind of shocked Johnny when what? Yeah, but you're not sensing that the people you elected have your best interest in mind any longer, or for quite some time now.
Well, I didn't vote for either one. I didn't elect them, but clearly they don't. And the thing is the people right now that work hard for their money, they work for a living, and they do everything they can to get ahead. You're putting the 80 hours in a week so that somebody who's only putting in 20 can have the same lifestyle, it almost feels.
Wow.
Because they're giving everything to social programs, and the people who are making more money because they're working harder are just crucified, tax-wise.
Angie, are you feeling the same way?
Well, I'm feeling it that way too. Yes.
Pretty much the same?
Yes.
So you guys are
I feel like Sean has to work so much harder than everyone else to get ahead, but isn't getting ahead.
I made a comment on one of our trips because we've only been together for 3 days. Due to flight delay, we unfortunately lost a day, or I think we could have done a lot more, but we did the best we could on the short time. But does it make sense what I said on one of our days together about there's a paradigm shift that you used to, like in my parents' generation and prior, want to be born and work and be in the same home nation, and now it's kind of reversed. You want to actually live in a different nation than you're born because you tend to get the perks instead of being the one that's always paying for the perks and not getting. I mean, have you been able to see a little bit of that in just such a short time together that we've been?
Even before I came here and met you, I was feeling that because forever I'm Canadian, I'm Albertan. I don't want to even leave Alberta, right? Like I didn't want to go anywhere, and I want my kids to be Canadian, and all that. And just in the last year or so, it's come to my realization that it may not be the best place to raise a family anymore.
We had a really pleasant surprise. Johnny and I had a meeting at the attorney's that was in the Sasua office yesterday about some business, and we stopped to visit a new friend, Wayne and Arlene, that are also Canadian. And tell us a little bit about that surprise, that who their neighbors were. That was really shocking. It was great.
Turns out, while we were sitting there having a chat with them, and they were really a great couple to sit and talk with. But while we were actually sitting with them, they had mentioned that there was a couple that was from Alberta that wanted to start a rehab center, and it just so happened to be that I knew a couple from high school that were doing something, and I believed it was in Costa Rica, but it turns out that Shauna and Roger were actually in the Dominican, and they're living here in the Dominican, not in Costa Rica, and they're doing their center here. And I've known them since I was 11. So it would have been from grade 7 on, 12.
All through high school, you were in some of the same classes? And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would have been every, probably 2 or 3 classes a day with him, all the way through grade 7 through 12. And
what is he doing here exactly?
He wants to start a rehab center.
Okay.
To help out with people. He's had some personal experience with it in his life, and he wants to give back. And figures that starting his own center in something that's beautiful, where it's a pretty low stress environment, might be the key to helping people. So
I don't want to take too much of your time because I know you want to head out to Diamante, Diamond Beach, and go for a swim, and you'll be back in the cold in a couple of days, and you want to make the best of it. But I do want to ask one parting question. Share with our viewers, what suggestion or idea can you give the people that are sitting on the fence post about coming out and seeing different lifestyles in different countries, about the information that's out there versus what you personally experienced? What advice could you give other families your age with children that have to consider this in terms of how you felt? I mean, we tried our best. We show you the good, the bad, and everything. We don't sugarcoat it. Is there any suggestions you can give people that are, I guess, a little bit in the box of their comfort zone and just a little bit fearful to come out?
Well, you definitely have to come here to see what's happening and what the place is like, because I didn't have a clue. Was a little bit of a shock, and then after just a couple days, you just relax, and it's like, oh, okay, this is cool, this is good, it's all good. So
yeah, you really just have to do it. Sitting at home procrastinating isn't going to get you anywhere.
Or reading stuff online is not going to help you.
We've done a ton of research, or like I'll sit at home after work and onto the iPad I go, and all evening I'll spend researching and looking at different places. And the Dominican was the first place that we actually wanted to look because of some really favorable immigration laws that you can actually jump in and get another passport. And so you can only do so much research online before you have to jump in and take a look. And by coming here, with spending time with you and Johnny, within 24 hours, we're walking downtown streets of Cabrera without a care in the world. And you say hola and you wave to people, and they can't race fast enough to wave back and say hola, and bye-bye. And the thing is the myth that everyone's out to get you just isn't there. It's just not there. And keeping your kids sheltered in one place. The world's a big place. Technology is changing the world. And with airline travel getting more affordable, and with the technology the way it is, gotta go out and experience the world. One place is just not enough. So.
It was worth your time.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely, absolutely.
Guys, I don't want to take away any more time from your day, and I really want to thank you for taking a few minutes to spend with us guys here and coming to our house and doing this little interview, because I know it will help other people get over that fear hump a little bit. And I agree with what you say. If you're not willing to spend a few dollars to come out and investigate any country that you're interested in, you're just dreaming. Any last bits of advice before we say goodbye?
We want to thank you.
It's been, believe me, it's been my pleasure. I haven't eaten
Johnny.
so well, and I can't remember when for free, so it's been a pleasure, a sheer pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
Come here without expectation, I guess. A lot of myths that I had were shattered, and just come out here with the open mind of life is just different. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different.
Sincerely, from our hearts, I could speak for the three of us, which I won't usually do. We sure hope it's not the last time that we see you. It's been a wonderful time for me. Anything but work. I had a blast. And thank you for making it so much fun for me, too. I want to appreciate that.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys. Until next time, this is Barry and DR. We'll talk to you soon.